So what I have noticed is the change in the entire experience, the way we put together content. The focus earlier used to be content. Now the focus is the learner, how we put the learner in the middle of the entire experience. On one hand, we have the performance outcomes and the business goal, how to meet those learning objectives, and on the other hand, how the learners themselves are consuming the content. So considering these two points, the way the design has changed is that on one hand, when we look at performance outcomes, we must start with where learners are. Therefore, to be able to understand what is it that they do at their jobs, at their workplace, what motivates them, what is it that they want to get to. Once we have an understanding of that, that is where we begin. And therefore, models like CCAF, which is context, challenge, activity, feedback, as taught by Dr. Michael Allen, which I'm deeply inspired by, and I'm trying to model that in a lot of my designs that I'm currently doing. So context is something that we need to establish within which the entire learning design is focused and the learning activities are focused. So in one of my current projects, which is again a classroom session, which was used to be a classroom session, and now we are converting that to focused activity where we directly put learners into that activity without giving them a whole lot of content in the beginning. So as we were talking about modernization, it's not just about changing technologies or the fact that you want to convert Flash to HTML5. It's about what is it that is going to meet the business outcome. Therefore, we decided that the best way to approach the particular content, which was around system simulations, is to put the learners directly into those activities. And of course, we aid them with videos, with step lists, any help that they want as far as sims are concerned, and guide them to where they need to be. And also, Kathy Moore's action mapping, which I'm sure a lot of people in the industry are already aware of, instructional designers are already aware of, where we put the learning goal right in the middle. And then we identify what are those tasks and what are those activities that learners need to perform at their job. And then we model that experience into our design. And the content which they absolutely need to complete those activities is the content that is included in the entire learning experience. Also, things like micro-learning, short learning nuggets, we do away with long courses altogether, which is why with our current projects, we identify what is that main content which would aid learners to complete those activities. There's a huge request for videos, especially interactive videos that people can engage with. So it's not just a passive experience for them. They get to engage with those videos and also see the consequence of those choices. So there's an emphasis on consequence-based learning where we show them, what that decision that they're taking, what does that really look like for them when they make that choice? Something that I have been very interested in for the past 1.5 years, I've been engaged with a group called Interactive Storytelling Accelerator Group, where we learn about interactive storytelling, and which I feel is a wonderful way of getting your learners to engage with the content itself. So there's something called cold learners. So cold learners are those people who are not familiar with the content or don't believe that they need to learn anything new, because whatever there is to be learned, they are already aware of it. How do you get them to a place where they should be learning more or would like to engage with the content? Therefore, the entire journey of a protagonist through a series of decisions, which is conflict, which is riddled with conflict, and finally where they get to a place which is the North Star, which is the learning goal. So this entire journey of that protagonist is what we learn about in interactive storytelling. And I'm trying to do that for a course which is currently running at the moment. And last year, I had put together my very first interactive story on LGBTQ awareness at the workplace, and it was a very interesting experience.
Did we just lose you for a second here? We probably lost you for a second.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, now we can. Go ahead. Okay. So you were telling us about your first interactive story format.
Yes.
With the LGBTQ at work course.
Right, yeah. Right. So that was something that I put together last year, and I worked very closely with my subject matter expert, and it was a journey of a person who interestingly does not belong to the community, because we were looking at a sensitization program. Therefore, what does that journey look like for someone who needs to have a shift in their mindset? So it was a very interesting experience for me. It is not on public domain, but I'm trying to put together another interactive story, which possibly in another couple of months, I'm hoping to complete. So as we look at the word cloud here, there are so many words that, you know, I'm able to relate to, like responsive design, of course, is so important, because whatever experience that the learners, the experience that we're trying to help create, they should be able to access that on any device of their choice without compromising on the learning experience. And also SMEs play such an important role, especially in the context of modernization, because we are talking about few hundreds and if not thousands of hours of existing content. That the role of the SME is very important, to be able to sift through and identify what is that piece which can be reused, and what are those pieces that we need to do away with or completely rebrand or create new. So I think these are some of the very important part of content modernization, and I think we are at a point in time where we must leverage all of these avenues that we have to be able to create wonderful learning experiences for our learners.